What is worship?
In a church point of view, I think from a person in the congregation, I think that they think of worship as the time when the beginning of the church service, where we sing songs or hymns or choruses, kind of celebrating the Lord's, depending upon the time of year, death or resurrection, and sometimes His birth. But I think worship is a lot more than that.
People value different things, and so that becomes their worship. But I want to challenge you on, where do you put your first priority? Worship to me is, I put Christ first in my heart. Is worship more than music? Definitely. I think worship is my whole lifestyle. I think worship is when I get up in the morning, I say, Christ, I give you my mind, my life, my heart.
Worship is adoration and praise to the Lord Jesus, and it's I think us trying to get in touch with feeling His Spirit and kind of clearing all of our human desires and mindsets out of the way, so that the Lord can actually move into our lives and we can actually hear what He's trying to say. In my point of view, tithing is an act of worship because you're giving and thus praising the Lord in your gifts, because your income is part of what in the Bible is demanded of you to be 10% given to the Lord, and so you're worshiping God by tithing because that's what belongs to Him.
I definitely would incorporate giving, tithing. Our pockets sometimes are our first priority of where we spend our money. So I look at tithing as really important in our worship to God. To be great in God's kingdom, you need to be a servant of all, and so my heart is servanthood, and I believe God's blessed by that. And when we act as a servant, I really believe in God is put on the throne, and when God is on the throne, He is being worshipped, and that just is a big circle.
In some ways it could be. It depends on, I think, the attitude that you bring to the activity. If you're washing dishes or doing chores with an attitude of, well, hey, let me be a blessing to someone today, or let me do something that might help someone out today, that might, I think, be an act of worship. However, on the flip side, if you're doing it with an attitude of, oh man, I just really don't want to do this right now, this is just a chore that I have to get done, I think that's also not honoring to God. So it's not really a worshipful act, depending upon your attitude, because you choose to worship as opposed to it just being something that can happen.
I am a worship leader, and so I look at that as worship on a stage and off of a stage, and that my life is a stage. So whether I'm at the grocery store, or whether I'm the PTA president, or whether I'm just cooking meals for my family, or if I'm in my workplace, the way that I reflect who Christ is worthy of worship for who God is. How do I connect and relate with worship?
I think people connect to worship in different ways. I think sometimes the stereotypical older person or elderly congregation would connect with worship more by singing a hymn or a song that's of an older time period, but it's something, I think it means something different to each person. Like for me, connecting with worship is me singing a song that I know, but something that I don't have to concentrate on, but something that I can just sing from my heart to praise and adore to the Lord.
I look at worship as a whole life experience. I look at worship as not just the songs that I pick, or the orchestration that I write, or the flow of the songs. I look at the big picture, which is I want to point everyone to Christ, and I want Christ to be the first and the most important thing, and that we focus on who Christ is.
Worship is a lifestyle.
The lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
Worship is a lifestyle.